All right, good morning. Happy Friday. Oh, I can't believe it's Friday. All week I've been thinking it was Thursday. And now it's Friday and it doesn't I don't know. I'm a little confused. Out of sorts this morning. Sarah, good morning, and thank you very much. Yes, so this is my first time streaming to YouTube. So if you have found me there, a little introduction. I do these sprints as part of the Heart Breathings writing community on Facebook, which was started by Sarah Cannon, an amazing indie author. And her Heart Breathings business is, if you're a writer, go watch her videos, take her courses. She's incredible. But the Heart Breathings writing community on Facebook is a wonderful community. It's a Facebook group that you can join, and people talk about writing and productivity, and it's a very supportive community. And there are maybe 10 of us ish that host these live sprints. So if you're working on something or and want that community, that's what we do here. Is we host these sprints. So I'm going to be doing 4 Pomodoro style 25-minute sprints. Sometimes I do shorter ones, 10-minute sprints with a 2-minute break. But lately I've been doing the 25-minute sprints. Elizabeth, good morning. How are you today? Jessica, good morning. I think it's the first time for me to attend your sprints. Oh, I'm so happy to have you here. Yes, I have been sprinting pretty much this same time slot, this 7 to 9 on Fridays, for, I don't know, it was before last summer because I took last summer off, but it's been a while. But I know it's not everyone wants to sprint at 7 in the morning. Jill, hello, good morning. I've got some Scottish Celtic background ambiance on, which is one of my very favorite background music things. One time I was at work and I had my earbuds in. I was listening to bagpipes. It happened to be St. Patrick's Day, so it was a little bit less weird than normal, just listening to bagpipes. And the person in the office next to me comes over and she's like, "Are you listening to bagpipes?" But the way I had my earbuds in my ears, my ears were then she could hear what I thought was very private. And I was like, yes, I am listening to bagpipes. Elizabeth's doing all right. Had a productive week thus far. Congrats. Some of my characters are Scottish. I'm from Savannah, Georgia, and St. Patrick's Day is a big thing there. So for me, St. Patrick's Day, I just associate it with this big celebration, which is why I was listening to bagpipes on that particular day. But then more recently, a friend of mine, her husband gave her all of the Outlander books and was like, "I think you'll like these," but they're pretty thick little guys. And she was intimidated. She was like, "Katie, will you read these along with me? We'll do a little 2-person book club just to give me some motivation to read these books." And so we recently read the first Outlander book and then started watching the show. After we finished the book, let's see how it compares, which has me more recently thinking of the Highlands. Most of them live in America, but 2 of them mentioned in book 1 are living in Scotland. Haven't figured out what part of Scotland yet. Nice. The research for that has got to be nice and fun. I think research sometimes is, I can't say it's the best part of writing, but sometimes it's a really fun, it's ooh, I have a really solid reason to just read about things I'm interested in on the internet. It's for research. I have to. Jessica, Outlander's my favorite all-time series. I love both the books and the show. Oh, well, that's incredible. I did really like book 1. So we discussed that at the very end of January, I think. And so now I can't believe we're getting close to mid-February. I wanted to finish a couple of other books that I had started previously before reading book 2. but I'm about to be trying to read a 1,000-page book in 2 weeks before our next Zoom date to discuss book 2. Well, but the good news is, like, they're very compelling books, and the series so far, I'm only like 4 or 5 episodes in to season 1, but I'm also really liking it. But it's good to know, like, it's your total favorite. I, like, really knew nothing about it until she was like, read these books with me. I was like, is this like a fantasy? Like, what is this? But historical fiction with romance and like a little bit of time travel thrown in. Elizabeth, totally, I feel less guilty about researching random things if the info will make its way into one or more of my novels. Yes, definitely. And like sometimes you don't know if it's going to make its way in, and you just got to be like, oh, this is important. Jessica, yes, they're quite chunky. The first one's the shortest one. I know. It's we might have to like extend our instead of once a month, we might need to do like every 6 weeks. We do a Zoom date to discuss one of them. I don't know. We'll see as we both start book 2 because we both wanted to read something else in between book 1 and 2, and so we're both a bit delayed getting started. Speaking of delayed getting started, it's 7:06. I'm going to bring up our little timer. Where are we? Okay. So we've got 4 sprints on the docket today. We'll probably go a few minutes over the hour, over 9 a.m. If you got to leave, you got to leave. Come and go as you please. I am not offended in any way, shape, or form, but I will be here for 4 25-minute sprints with 5-minute breaks in between. I'll be muted during the sprints. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say. And whatever you're working on, I wish you the best of luck. I know you can do it. I will see you in 25 minutes. Good luck. All right. That brings us to the end of sprint 1 out of 4. So, how did you do? What did you accomplish? How did it stack up to your goals? And what are you hoping to accomplish as we move forward into sprint 2 in a couple minutes? Let's see. We had Jessica said, be sure to read the Lord John Gray books later. You'll meet him in Dragonfly and Amber. Girl, I was already intimidated by the sheer number of Outlander books, and I didn't realize there was like a side series that I also needed to read. Honestly, so before I began writing, I didn't read very many books in series. I read more literary fiction, and so lots more standalone books. And then even now, like I love, a good thriller, but I read a lot of standalones. So I haven't ever been much of a series reader until more recently. And I write in the series, and as I read more indie authors, but I'm intimidated by series. And so even like Sarah's Shadow Demon saga, I think I'm on book 7, and with long breaks in between. But I'm like very intimidated by series, and especially when I realize that there's a side series. Like I read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and now people are saying you have to read Crescent City and Throne of Glass because they're interconnections. I'm like, I read one series. I didn't realize I had to read 3 series to get all of the connections in this series. So, goodness gracious, is what I have to say about that. Sarah's working her way through Module 1 of Publish and Thrive. Oh, love it. Elizabeth got some breakfast, started doing some research. Jill, my dog was barking so much, I didn't get much done. Yes, if you saw me, like, I muted, but, like, talking, like, my husband woke up and came down, so I was also, like, not 100% focused. The Lord John Gray series books are much shorter. Okay, they're, like, normal sized. That's reassuring. Sarah, I'm the opposite. I love series. I'm falling more in love with them because it's the thing where like you love this character and you just want to spend as much time as possible with them. And so I'm definitely like, I'm getting there, but I have not yet gotten over the intimidation factor of like, I'm committing to what? Oh, and she's a bunch of short stories in the same world. Ooh, okay. I can dig it, but I can't promise it's not going to take like a year and a half because then I'm like, oh, I need to read this. Ooh, I need to read this. I'm also like a bit of a mood reader. And so I bounce back and forth. Like I devoured the first 4 Shadow Demons books, like boom. And then I think I took like months off, and then I read book 5, and then like again, months. And then so like I can't necessarily stick through a series all in one go. Elizabeth says The Gwen Saga by Karu Kurimoto, number of books 130, including 22 side novels. Jesus Christ. As an author, so I've put out 3 books in a series with a 4th one on pre-order that I'm working on. And I don't want to say I'm like tired of these characters or I'm tired of this world or this, but like I just don't know how I'd come up with 130 books worth of stuff to say about them. like book 4 is not going to be the end of this series, but I can't see myself writing more than like 6 or 9. For some reason, it's like multiples of 3 where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do like this many. That's just, yeah, I can only imagine how emotional it gets writing 130 books in one series. Also, who would read all of the books? It's one of those things like, if I liked the characters and if the books were short, I like felt invested, then I think I'd keep reading it. But like, how do you have that much to say in that world? I don't know. Hats off, because I don't think my creativity stretches quite that far. Wow. All right, our break is about to end. So think about sprint 2. What are your goals? I am going to finish this scene, start the next one. I don't really have a specific word count goal. I would like to try and stay as focused as possible. although we have some like pet shrimp, and so there's some confusion this morning, and so I'm probably going to go try and count our shrimp to see how many we still have. So if I disappear, that's why I went. But otherwise, that's my goal: finish this scene, get started on the next, and just stay as focused as possible. Um, Whatever you are working on, be it writing, editing, plotting, if you're going through Publish and Thrive, which is so good, so good. um, Whether you're researching, whatever it is, just I wish you the best of luck, and I know you can do it. And I will see you in 25 minutes. Good luck. All right. Halfway through our session this morning. That is sprint number 2. So 2 down, 2 to go. How did it go? I said that my goal was to finish one scene and get started on the next. I did finish that first scene, and then I got sidetracked looking at AMS ads, although that was on my to-do list for today. So it wasn't just entirely random, but it wasn't what I was planning on spending time on that sprint. Let's see. Karen says, popping in to say hi, hit that like button. I can never sadly make it to your sprints because I have to take my husband to work. Totally fine. I'm sad, but I totally get it. Oh, yeah, Karen also sprints during this time slot from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern on Monday and Wednesday, usually, I believe. Elizabeth, as if 130 books in one series isn't shocking enough, one man wrote 336 books in one series. The guy must have had a lot of free time. Or he's definitely one of those people who, like, really finds solace and escapism in the writing. I know people like that who, like, the writing for themselves is like a way to get out of whatever is like causing them distress in their regular life. And I get it, but also the writing is like, it feels like work to me enough at the same time that I don't just like go there to like find peace. I don't know. Yeah, 336, that's insane. On the other, like, if you write, even if you're a person who can write a book a month, which I am not, but that's what, 12 books a year. So 3 years is 36 books and 30 years to get 360 books. So, I mean, like, it's doable within a career length if you are a person who writes at that pace. I am not a person who writes at that pace. My career will not include over 300 books, I don't believe. No matter how long into my life I write. Okay, so in sprint number 3, do I spend sprint number 3 going back to my Amazon ads, or do I write? I think I dreamed that I was like, oh yeah, the Peter Rabbit book. I was like, oh, that's now in the public domain, so I need to publish it and run ads. I like dreamed about needing to run AMS ads on this book that's like entirely unrelated to anything in any of my works. Jessica read through another chapter of my very first book that I'm relaunching. How is that? I'm also making notes for it in the second one in the series so I can start plotting book 3. I, on my YouTube channel, have started to read my books out loud, beginning with book 1, and I haven't read it in over a year. Like, I put it out in November 2021. And so like I read it many times leading up to that, but it's been quite a while, and it's like really interesting diving back into it after so long. So like I would be interested to see how it is for you of like reading through that first book. Elizabeth, 336 divided by 12 is 28. Yes, so not quite 30 years. Okay, let's see. So we've got another minute of our break here. I'm still pondering what I should work on during sprint number 3, but we do have 2 sprints left. So maybe I'll spend one of them on AMS ads and one of them on words. Let me know what you are going to be trying to accomplish in sprint number 3. Yes, it is sprint number 3. Okay, so minor distraction here. I look up at my my ambiance video that I have on the TV on YouTube, my like Celtic ambiance, and there's like a Highland cow, and so I just look up and there's like the fluffiest cow. Up until now, it's been like green rolling hills and like gorgeous nature scenes, and then I just look up and there's like this majestic cow on the TV screen. It's kind of funny. All right, we are closing out our break here. Okay, So we got 2 sprints left. Jessica says, "It's funny, I haven't read this since 2020. I've had some cringeworthy moments. I just found an instance where I'd written, I slammed on the brakes, spelled Breaks, shaking my head." I definitely do that. I misspelled my character name also a bunch of times. Her name is Virginia. And so it was entirely just like typo type things. Peek, Peek versus Peak is one that I also miss. Um, I know like my editor caught a bunch of them. I'm sure there are some that like slipped through, but that's funny. Okay. We have 2 sprints left, 2 more opportunities. Once again, I am wishing you the best of luck and I am sending you the best of vibes. And I will see you in 25 minutes. Good luck. All right, that is 3 sprints down, 1 more to go. How did you do? Jessica says, what's scary is that book went through 2 rounds of edits and 3 beta readers plus the umpteen times I read it. Thank God for Pro Writing Aid. I do love Pro Writing Aid for catching things like that. That's awesome. But it also goes to show that, like, mistakes like that, while we hate to find them in our own work, like, does it really impact the readability or, like, quality of the story? No. If 2 rounds of edits and 3 beta readers didn't notice it. Jetta says, hey, you guys, joining for a bit of productivity. Got home from work early. It's 2:15 here. Need to proofread my ebook. The final version is due today. I have it on pre-order. It releases on Tuesday. Congrats on the upcoming release. Haven't even started to format the print book, which is not on pre-order, so if it runs a day or two late, no one will care. It's not as if I sell that many print books. Totally understand. Yeah, formatting for print is always like the last thing that I do. And then I'm like, we'll see how closely to the ebook release this print book is available. Theo has finally come to sit next to me in the sun on a bed of blankets. So he's happy. And we've got 1 sprint left. That sprint, I started writing. I ended up doing some research and then doing some brainstorming. So as we move into these last sprints, I always find that, like, my focus is frazzled and I'm feeling like hungry. So I'm like, do I get breakfast in sprint number 4? Or do I try and make myself focus and brainstorm and get breakfast after? Like, unclear. Yes, he is. And he's like irresistible to pet. And so when he's here, I just am like, must pet the cat, but also must try to focus. I think in the final sprint, I will go get a bowl of cereal, but I will also keep brainstorming, like stream of consciousness writing, brainstorming this other work in progress, as my attention is sort of divided between the 2 works right now. That'll be sort of a good balance of still getting some stuff done during this time, but also like recognizing that it's hard to focus when you're hungry. Jedi, I understand. I have a cat sleeping on my desk at the moment. They are such good helpers. Oh, me. What do you guys have planned for the weekend? Is anyone, and who else is going through Publish and Thrive? I'm looking forward to the next few modules. Jessica says, still reading and cringing. Why must I use so many commas? Yes. I like am feeling the same way when I read through mine. I'm like, there should have been a comma here. There shouldn't have been a comma here. Like, what's going on? But it is what it is. Yeah. Later today, I've got a coaching call that was related to Becca Syme's Write Better Faster 101 course. So I know Sarah's planning on taking the course, but there's like 1 individual like coaching call as part of the course. And so like the actual course is it's 1 month long. So it concluded in January, but I scheduled my coaching call for after, so I would have time to go through all the lessons. So I have that later today, which is really exciting. And then a friend's birthday party tomorrow. That should be fun. And hopefully lots of writing in between. Jetta's doing Publish and Thrive again as well. Looking forward to the Q&A session tomorrow. Me too. I really like the updates so far. Yeah. So has anyone here done the Write Better Faster course with Becca? It's really interesting because you do the Clifton Strengths assessment and the whole thing is focused on like you and the system that you operate within and what changes you can make, and making only one key change because you don't want to throw your whole system out of balance. And so I'm hoping in this like coaching call later, we'll talk about sort of like what that key change is, because I've been thinking about it as like I went through the course. But I think I don't know. I'm really excited for it later today. So that's what I'm looking forward to today. Jessica, I have a busy weekend planned, Publish and Thrive live Q&A, niece's baby shower, and Super Bowl. I keep forgetting it's Super Bowl Sunday. I don't even know what teams are in it. Plus, I have to finish the quilt I'm making for the baby. Oh, that's such a sweet gift. All right, we have one sprint left. It is going to take us over the 9 o'clock hour. So if you got to go, you got to go. I totally get it. But we are going to go for the full 25 minutes if you would like to stay. Once again, same deal as always. I'll be on mute. I'm sending you good luck and good vibes, and I will see you in 25 minutes. And there we have it. That is 2 hours, 4 sprints complete. How did your final sprint go? What did you do? What did you accomplish? Let's see. Jessica went through the very first Publish and Thrive course. How long ago was that? And I've loved it so much. Sarah does a great job keeping it updated. She really does. So it must have been a year and a half ago that I first found Sarah and Heart Breathings. And I found that based on HB90. Somebody else on Instagram talked about the HB90 method for their planning, and that's like what led me to the whole thing. So I'm not even sure how long she's been doing HB90 and Publish and Thrive. 2019. Okay, wow. So like 4 years ago. Wow. She really does an excellent job of updating all of her courses. It's wonderful. Yeah, so that sprint, I ate some breakfast. Theo wanted to be a part of it. I also was reading through some like past notes and brainstorming as I come up with, I'd like had like part of an outline. And so I was reading back through that. And then kind of like, what if I did this? What if I did this? So it was sort of like thinky time. But I'm excited about some of the ideas that I had while doing that, and also like rubbing on my eyes because Theo was very persistent trying to get my breakfast. And so now there's like cat hair all over. Jetta proofread the first 2 chapters of my book, made tea, and brushed the floors during the 2 sprints I did. That sounds like a really wonderful, I guess it's afternoon for you. I started to say like morning, but afternoon of getting some stuff done. Jessica says, I think HB90 started the year before that, but I didn't take it until 2019 either. Nice. Yeah, it's amazing to me how long it's been going on, but like clearly it's grown and improved the whole time. It's incredible. Sarah, you are so welcome. Thank you for joining. Oh, it's always such a pleasure to have you and see you on my Friday mornings. All right. I am going to go wash my face and try and get the cat hair off me so I can have a less allergic Friday than I'm currently having. But thank you all for joining me this morning for sprints. Jessica, that's incredible. Almost through 2 chapters. Thank you for the sprints. Thank you for joining. You are so welcome. It is my pleasure, as always, to kick off our Fridays here together. Let's see. I was going to pull up the calendar real quick and just give a quick update on what's going on. There are no other live sprints today. It's possible someone will want to do some pop-ups later in the day, so keep an eye on the Facebook group, but there's nothing planned until Tracy's sprints tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. But then there are sprints on Sunday, both at 9 a.m. and at 5 p.m., and then all next week. So definitely head to the Facebook group and check out that Google Calendar if you haven't yet. And Dee Dee, I'm too late, but I'll make it one day. Oh, rats. But that's what the replays are for. Happy to have you pop in at the last second here. I hope your Friday is phenomenal. I hope all of your Fridays are phenomenal and the weekend as well. I will see you in the Facebook group, and I will see you next Friday.